Hello, my name is Lisa Cieslik from Cologne, Germany, and I'm an artist, and I'd like to show you now my latest work about the family from Juanita.
Hello, I'm Juanita. I come from Uganda. Uganda is a country in East Africa, and I come from the Kingdom of Uganda. I came to Germany in 1982 with my sister and my brother, and a couple of years later my brother married a wife, and his wife, is the auntie of my sister-in-law. That is how I met Lisa. Lisa, I met her on a birthday party with my little niece. I would like to tell you something about the Kingdom of Uganda and my family. Lisa came with the idea that she wants to do a work of art with the pictures I had from them. This picture is a picture of my brother, Kakembo. This picture is a picture of the brother of Francis. His name is Barnett. He's the firstborn from my auntie. Barnett is now in London also, and he's a doctor. The interesting thing is that Lisa didn't know who he was, whether he was a doctor or not, but she used the background from an advertisement about Chinese medicine in Uganda. The Chinese are advertising their medicine in Uganda, although in Uganda they also have their local medicine. That's why this picture is very interesting, and it is a picture which we have on our invitation. On this picture you see, starting from the left hand side, my grandfather, Ezra Masembe Kabali, a brother-in-law, and then his sister, who was the wife of the Archbishop of Namirembe, and then a niece of theirs. Next to her is my auntie Ruth Caxton and her husband, Mr. Njuchi. They were at a wedding of my auntie Salome, and I was a bridesmaid on that day. This picture is also very, very interesting because that is a picture of my mother's auntie and her husband. My mother's auntie is now living in New York. She is called Ruth Njuchi, and her husband was called Njuchi. Mr. Njuchi was a dentist. He was a very, very famous dentist, killed by Idi Amin. And the interesting thing is that the background is from the Bank of Uganda, an article over the Bank of Uganda. This is my uncle Apollo. Apollo was a very charming man. Before he came back to Uganda, he went to school he went to the university in Jerusalem, or let us say Israel, and that's where he did agriculture. A very, 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 very old picture, and I like the way Lisa made it. On the left hand side is my mother, in the middle Auntie Julie, and on the far left is Apollo. And if you notice, my mother has rings on her legs because the parents could hear where the babies are. It kept ringing, so they knew the babies wouldn't get lost. Otherwise, if they had no rings, bells on their feet, they'll go ringing. This picture is the picture of Martin's baptism. Martin was baptized on that day. He is being held by his grandmother, who is in the middle. That is Martin, without hair on his head, and with all of us around him. It was a nice day. You see my brothers, my sisters, Barbara, Auntie Betty, and he just kept staring at his grandmother, who was holding him on his arm. This is my lovely mother, Mary. Mommy Mary was then, of course, a very young teenage girl, and she loved taking pictures of herself. There you see her dressed up in the busuti. That is a traditional dress from the Baganda. Originally, it was a school uniform from a girls' school, but then it became so famous, and now it is the dress everyone wears when they go for occasions. This picture is from my brother Blasio, Dan Blasio. He is living now in New York, in America, and the funny thing is that Lisa saw the mystic in him, and that's why the background is done like that. I find it very nice. My brother is a very happy boy, always smiling, maybe you can say full of mystic. Lisa made a work of art from my grandmother's picture. This picture was taken in London. She had gone to visit her children who were living in London at that time, and Lisa found that very, very interesting, and she reproduced it like that. In this picture you see the face of my cousin sister. Her name is Jocelyn Nakariri. When she was born, I asked her father how the baby was, and the father said Bangladesh. Jocelyn is very light skinned, maybe that's why he said that, but she's a very beautiful girl now. This picture is very, very, very old. I think if I remember it was 1947. At the back of the picture was a letter from my grandmother to my grandfather saying, missing you and hoping to see you soon. But the children in the picture, I don't know who they are because it's a very, very old picture. That's why I think Lisa made it so psychedelic.
That's true.
Auntie Julie, that is a picture of Auntie Julie. Auntie Julie lived in London, and it is interesting to see that also there's some Chinese medicine. Another picture Lisa made was a picture from my cousin. His name is Francis Musino, and he lives in London. He's studying pharmacy. Francis is now a big boy. That was a picture he took for the school. He had for the school. This picture is of Alan. Alan, who was always smiling. Maybe you used to see the balls which Lisa saw in that picture, because I find it very interesting that she used these spots, because Alan was a baby who always had a smile on his face, always. Unfortunately, he died of AIDS when he was very young. Another picture of my mommy. In those days, the afro was in, and she took this picture in Kampala. It also is a very nice picture. I find her very charming in that picture. That is Mutesa too, because his great-grandfather was called Mutesa I. This other picture is of Jocelyn when she was a baby. Actually, she was very, very, very sweet baby, and Lisa decided to make it into the sky baby.